Well, let me reveal to you the new Volkswizard daily driver and project car. Hello guys, and welcome back to the Volkswizard channel. Now in today's video I'm going to reveal to you the replacement for my Mk8 Golf GTI Clubsport, which as per my recent Instagram post is currently up for sale. Shock horror. The reason for this is because of a significant change in my personal circumstances. That means I'll no longer be covering as many miles, and therefore I'll find it a lot harder to justify the £450 per month finance payment, especially when my income will be severely reduced. Thankfully though, it's not a health related issue as some of you guys thought after my Instagram post. Thank you for your concern. I will of course reveal all in due course. In fact, in the longer term, it may not even be a bad thing. One good thing to come out of it already is that I can daily a car I've always been wanting to own, and because it's not on finance or under warranty, I can do whatever I like with it, such as many track days as I wish. It's actually a car I compared with my Mk8 Golf GTI Clubsport last year and absolutely loved. Can you tell what it is yet? No? Okay, well let me reveal to you the new Volkswizard daily driver and project car. Okay, well, there is my 2015 Seat Leon Cupra 280 3-door manual. And there is a very good story about this car. A couple of weeks ago, I drove Seat UK's Heritage Cupra Ultimate Sub 8 at Millbrook and absolutely loved that car. The video has only just dropped. I came back from that event desperate to buy one, and by sheer coincidence, a subscriber a couple of days later offered me this car. He told me it was a Cupra Sub 8. And I thought that's even better than the Heritage car because it's got air conditioning. It transpires he had been missold it by a dealer who called it a Sub 8. It had the orange wheels then, it had the orange mirrors and grille it's got now, but it didn't have the Brembos, it didn't have the sill extension. So he just bought a normal Cupra with, I think, the orange pack. I was a bit disappointed it wasn't a Sub 8, but then I thought, well, it's not that expensive and it's got one plus over the Seat Heritage car. I will show you as we have a look around it. It's a slightly different colour to the Seat Heritage car as well. That was kind of like a grey white. This is a metallic white called Nevada white. We've got some sort of tacked on splitter there, so you can tell it's had some interesting owners. It was actually originally a Seat UK car though, going by the registration number, and I've also checked it was delivered by DHL, who are the contractors to Volkswagen Group, so it's definitely originally a Seat UK car. So if you know anything more about it, please do tell me, because it's a bit of a weird car. Now the wheels were the original ones. I've seen the photo from the dealer the guy bought it off, and he had a puncture. The garage told him they'd all been welded and they were leaking again, and he was faced with having to pay £800 for just one of the orange wheels. So he just quickly went out and bought these Estoril replicas, which unfortunately, even though they're not even a year old, they've just been through one winter, they're already corroding. So I think they're going to have to be painted black and look like the black Estorils you get from the factory. But these are coming off anyway. We're going to change the wheels next week. We're going to also fit my Goodyear track tyres on it as well. Brakes will be somewhere in the future, not too far, to bring it up to ultimate Sub 8 spec. We also need the sill covers. If you've got any, let me know. As you can tell, it's a 3-door, and yeah. So at the back, I want to take off the Cupra badging altogether, so it's a stealthy car. I'm going to leave the tips for as long as I can before OCD takes over, as sooty as they are now. And I think it looks significantly less Cupra-y and more FR-y if I do that, which is what I want. I want it to be super rapid, but completely stealthy. This car's got spacers on it as well. You can see them there. I'm not really a big fan of spacers, so when we change the wheels, we'll see what they look like, but I think we'll get a better stance just with the wheels. There's no spacer on there. Condition-wise, it's mint. I haven't washed it. I've used it a bit already. it's got a nice spec as well, maybe not the sportiest spec, because down here we have the subwoofer and a spare wheel, which I think is quite unusual on Seats. That can all come out for track days, as can the parcel shelf, just to give it a bit less weight. We can leave the seats in there, we're not that crazy. So the big plus it has over the press car is that we have bucket seats, which was a strange omission from that Ultimate Sub 8. So this is definitely was the clincher for me when I bought the car. And then we have a traditional handbrake in this pre-facelift Cupra, and yeah, manual gear knob. Other bonuses are that we've got the Seat sound system there, which makes it heavy, I know, but hey. And we've got, believe it or not, we have got Apple CarPlay in this 2015 car. It's actually called Seat Upgrade. I think they've been a bit funny there, like an upgrade, but it is there. I can't show you now because I haven't got the cable, it's not wireless, but it works really well. Seat Upgrade. And yeah, that is definitely a bonus. We've got heated seats, we've got air conditioning, we've got quite a bit of spec on here that I don't actually have in my Clubsport. We've also got, of course, the standard dynamic chassis control, DCC, say heated seats I don't even have. We've got normal cruise control, which is still better than nothing. I'm not a big fan of adaptive, to be perfectly honest. Just normal traditional dials, which are perfectly adequate. A nice steering wheel, and yeah, it's just a nice cabin. This, I know people think it's cheaper, but maybe it's my exposure to Golf 8 that makes me more accustomed to this level of plastics, but I think it's really nice and not massively behind the Golf 8, Golf 7 even, 7.5. Apart from this bit, this does look a bit cheap, but I love all the sort of de-chromed stuff around the heater controls and on the door pulls as well. Black headlining. So yeah, whilst it is a downgrade in many ways from the Golf, I mean, it's 290 horsepower. If you watch the video when 280 horsepower, the 290 that was in the video comparison a year ago, if you watch that, you'll see that performance-wise, they're very, very close. So there's not a downgrade in performance. Brakes are a little bit undernourished compared to the Golf, but that can be easily fixed. But actually, there's not a lot in it, and this car is a third of the price of the Golf. So yeah, think about that. Let's have a quick look under the bonnet. It does bong. That's easily fixed. Yeah, I suppose one downgrade over a Golf is that we have to go over the channel to pull the bonnets. So you don't get those on a Golf, do you? And we have got the Keep Fit bonnet release here as well, just like Golf 8. So there is EA888 290. It's basically the 280. I keep on saying 290. It's basically the Golf R engine with a little bit of a software tweak to reduce the power. But obviously it's a lot lighter than a Golf R because it's two-wheel drive. It's got the VAQ front differential. Something suggests it has an air filter in there. Well, that's all going to get ditched anyway because the R600 air intake Evo R600 fitted to my Golf 8 will fit this. So that's going to go in there as well. So yeah, I'm really excited about this project. Let's go and drive it and see how exciting it is on the road. Okay, well, it actually feels more like the Golf in here than you might expect. We've got very similar looking seats that feel very similar. We've got the infotainment screen in the same position. We've actually got better position for the air vents because they can blow cold air to your face without being obstructed by the steering wheel, like in Golf 8. Those vents really are a bit too minimal. We've got analog dials though, which is different, and actually they look better. It's like a chronograph watch versus a digital watch for me. Maybe, I think these will come back in fashion in time. Maybe we've got a traditional headlight switch so I can tell it what I want. It forces you in the Golf 8 to have the headlights on when you don't want them, and if you're filming cars that can be quite annoying because you can actually just wash out the shots if you're driving at dusk with the headlights on, particularly if it's raining. We've got a very similar steering wheel, but the buttons are traditional. We've got traditional climate control buttons. Let's not talk about anymore. I don't have to learn them though, so that's got to be good. We've got electric folding mirrors, which is nice. We've got a traditional key, which has this little slot here where you can keep it. But don't get me wrong, the Golf was great to live with when I was under pressure doing a lot of miles. Keyless entry is brilliant. You can turn it off if you're worried about security. You can have it on, so just when you get near the car, it opens. And you've got the electric parking brake, which just works perfectly. You've got a gearbox that's completely seamless. It was a very easy car to drive fast. but I don't need easy now. I'm quite happy with something that takes a little bit more effort and is in theory more engaging, especially when it's got this funny little stick in the middle of it and a normal handbrake as well, which means you can do handbrake turns. The Apple CarPlay is now connected and that's just firing up. I'm pretty sure this will work every time, even though I think it's just an upgrade to the head unit. It didn't come with it from the factory, but it seems to be pretty good. It's quite slow to start up, but when it starts, it always works. The screen's a bit smaller than the Golf's, but I'd rather have that rather than have Apple CarPlay. I don't know if it's going to work, which is the case with the Golf. I need to get the software update done, by the way, before I criticise the Golf too much. So yeah, let's go then. We've got front and rear parking sensors, just like the Golf, and we'll put it in Cupra mode, which means a lot of fakery, which I think I will unplug very, very soon. We've got dynamic chassis control, of course. In Cupra mode, I'd say it's marginally harder than the Golf. In Sport mode, I'd say it's marginally more comfortable, but this surface is good. We'll stay in Cupra mode. It feels a lot laggier than the Golf, which gives it a bit more character, you could say. So let's just get around this course. What's coming up? So third gear, lag. Whoa! Now I don't know if it's been mapped before. The splitter on the front of the car might suggest it's had some tweaking, but I don't know, it's hard to tell. I haven't driven a fast manual for such a long time, and it's just, your points of reference are all skewed when you go from auto to manual. But anyway, corners are similar. The steering's heavier and doesn't weigh up as much in corners, but it feels pretty feisty. Are we going to take off? Ooh, nearly. And the brakes, oh yeah, perfectly fine for the road. I think a bit of track use will kill them, so an upgrade is definitely on the cars. We're running Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres now, by the way, which hopefully reassure you this car wasn't owned by silly people who do all the modifications and then put budget tyres on. I think it's pretty good. The history is actually impeccable. It's been to a good specialist recently called SJB Autotech down near Basingstoke, and they're the guys who actually found the wheels were a bit knackered, hence why it's on these. And the gear change, it's lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh! Brakes again. So it's not a sub 8 or an ultimate sub 8, it's just a normal Cupra 280, but already it feels like a load of fun, and we can make it better. So keep a look out for the videos. In theory, I'm going to go on a track day in a week from now in this car, and that will prove a shakedown, so we can just see really what needs to be done. But already on the road it feels like a really, really good car. So yeah, a good basis for making better. Anyway guys, as ever, thank you for watching this Volkswizard video. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. They have slowed down a lot recently. I think they have for everybody, so it's really important you do subscribe if you want this channel to continue. And I'll see you for the next video very soon.